All right, well, sorry. It's been a few days since I've been able to record, since I've been sick for a while, but here's the hydroponics garden. I've not been home for 2 days, so here's how much has grown. The mint has grown off this side a lot more, growing over, and then I've tried to position the lettuce to go frontward down. It seems that some new food is required now as well for it. The leaves in the back and the middle tend to get the most sunlight and grow the most, which also probably suggests that it's more red because the leaves down here, this one's just about the same size as this one here, maybe a little bit smaller. Well, this one's a little bit smaller right here, but it's probably possible that it's redder because it's seen under the light more. It seems the tomato isn't doing too well over the past few days. You can see here that the tomato leaves are a lot less green compared to this one right here and the main plant itself. I also picked some sucker plants earlier. Well, suckers on it, which are small little things like this little thing down here. They'll eventually grow into branches that are useless to the plant. One interesting thing I've also found is on the pepper plant here. This one specifically has gotten more redder in color, which suggests that I might be getting a fully grown pepper soon. But I'm still wondering why these ones haven't changed color yet, and the smaller one has. Over the next few days, I'll prop this up with a stick and some t-shirt cloth, so then it won't be so lopsided that way. The maple sapling, I guess you would call it, is doing pretty good so far. I've been watering both the pepper and sapling every 2 days just about, in order not to overwater it. So yeah, that is what has been happening in the garden so far. Although I do not like how these plants are so very close. It's quite annoying and hard to trim because you see down here there's all these lettuce leaves, just like this one in here, which I put in a bag to examine under a microscope, because it was easier to look at the veins there. But this one, it looks like it's getting droopy. Probably because it was bent, maybe. Back there, it looks like it was bent. But I'm not entirely sure how I should manage this. I probably need to get the tomato plant to be more positioned this way, so the leaves get out of the way, and then get these top leaves out of the way more. But that's just what I theorize for it. I'm going to trim it and add some plant food in there, and it should be good, hopefully. I've just made a discovery on the chives. So while I was trying to remove the plant there, it wouldn't go because I saw white roots connecting it there. Now, I am only assuming that these white roots that were connecting it are actual chives, but for some reason they have not grown yet. even though it's way past it. But it also could be just an expansion of some of the lettuce and such in the other areas. This is what the Rough River's lettuce looks like when I took it out. And it looks like there might be some, just realized that might be some roots on the sides there, those white parts. So that means I should probably put that back. One thing I am questioned by is the health of this garden so far, because if you look over here, these are of course all dying. Just like that. Just sort of flakes off right there. Another thing is, these are the lettuce, the dead lettuce that I have. If I look at it, it has different like colors to it on the tips there. I'm assuming that's just like decay or something like that, but that's what there is. Also, it looks this greeny type color because I'm assuming that's the pigment of green that's still left in the lettuce at the time, but then that slowly fades. But it is dead. Also notice there's some holes in here that might have been caused by me. It's actually quite hard to pull out the dead lettuce leaves. Like you have to actually give it a yank in order for it to go. But I'll insert this in here. And it actually took a lot of like force to get that back up. I'm thinking the reason why it probably didn't grow is because I didn't give it enough time. And also not enough light. I'm assuming a lot of these lettuces are, a lot of this is dying, the plants, because there's not enough light. I haven't gotten to getting the light, well, getting the plant food added, but that could also be a thing. And now I'm just trying to find a way for all of these to somehow coexist all at once. But it is pretty hard. On the description, you could have 6 plants in there all at once. 6. That just seems like a lot for this big of spread out for just 2 lettuces and a tomato. I also rotated the tomato, as you can see, so it's more so off the light. But that means if I do not move these pieces right here back over here, then they're going to most likely die because they don't have any light. But they're just going to, you know, be like that. And they're going to then turn into one of these all the way down here at the bottom. So I'm not entirely sure how I can manage this better. Except maybe if I somehow get all this to expand out more. Or maybe if I move this itself forward to here. I'll try that now, actually. Okay, so far, what I did is I expanded this, put it back more, this way. So the lesser here has room to grow out back here, along with the tomatoes. Now these tomatoes, this one is one big branch here. Goes here, 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 and over here. And then this one right here is also connected to it. But there's this one right here. You can see it's a separate branch that goes out as well. So I'm trying to separate this branch from this one right here. So then maybe I'll be able to have more space for them, and they should hopefully not die as fast. So far on the edges here, there's breaking on a lot of the different lettuce pieces, but the main thing is they constantly twist because the lettuce, it's trying to point upwards, but it's never able to actually point upwards. So it just gets bent in a direction like this way, which makes this part twist on it. Well, hopefully I'll get some chives and maybe some Rough Rivers lettuce in, but I'm not sure I'll be able to hat that all together since this tomato plant's in the way. The one thing I've noticed is a lot of these leaves on this tomato plant, a lot of these leaves just bend and curve to the light, or either bend or curve to the light, or they're bending and curving because they don't have as much light. Like for example, this one right back here. Try and bend it out, it just curls back. I think with the tomatoes, it's probably a lot about positioning them, and also when to allow different branches to grow out. Because some of these branches I'm going to have to start snipping on here. I also picked another sucker. You can probably see right back here, that little part. So I have to watch it almost every day. I think one of the big concerns I have is lifting this lettuce up and putting in the food, because right there is the food tray. So that is, I guess, hydroponics for today. Got some dead ones again. And, well, see you all next time on hydroponics.